Awesome. Yeah, let's start. Let's rock and roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen and gentle boys. Hello, everybody, literally and physically and spiritually. I'm Jason Wolf here, the Hellenic Wolf. I'm coming to you from Greece, from Corfu, which is a beautiful island you should visit. Don't
Yes,
delay. Life is short, and Corfu is beautiful. So go visit Corfu, and it's
I
all.
can vouch her. Corfu is a very beautiful island. Worth
Yeah,
visiting.
exactly. Yeah, Jeff. Since we destroyed and created a new flow, what do you loved about Corfu?
Um, Actually, I mean, like in Greece, it's always the blue and the white, yeah, like the sea and the houses and the simple life, the olive oil, the people, but mainly the water. It's so clear and pure where you go, and you can dive in 30 meters and still see the light. Like it's really pure.
Yeah, yeah, you nailed it. I can't say anything more. That's actually great. That's actually why people come here. It's the simplicity. We are simple peoples. We are not as eloquent as the Italians. Italians, they have beautiful buildings, they have majestic, some things majestic, and but we are better, I think, in food. We have I think, a little bit better than them. That's my opinion, at least, and we have more simplicity in some aspect. So yeah, thank you for your good words, Zev.
Yeah, close to the
I'll,
roots, you can see it. The
yeah,
olive oils, yeah, the roots, the trees, the people, yeah.
yeah, it's
So
amazing,
being
and
simple is one of the most complex thing. Okay, it's more easy to do complex thing, but to simplize and peel off, it's much harder. And I think, like for our topic, water, this is exactly why I love water so much because it's kind of the simplest thing. Yeah, it's like the going back to the basic of the roots of life, where it starts and where it begins and where. Yeah.
true, true. It's actually very uh, what you say. It's actually very true. Like we have a common friend, and he said he talked with me, and he said a word that was very interesting. Simplex. He said simplex. I don't know if he shared the same word with you, but it's kind of true. Like many things in life, when you go to the roots, uh life is kind of simple if you really dissect it. Like a good life isn't really that
Yeah.
that complex to figure out, but how you go there sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
interesting.
also, it's like when something is true. Yeah, when something is true, usually it's simple. And when it's very complex, it's so you look for the basic things. It's like um, yeah,
The
coffee,
fundamentals, exactly, the fundamentals.
good.
um and that's the one reason that this channel is focused mostly now, and I would say absolutely about water, which is exactly one of the simplest thing you can talk about and see everywhere. And it's in our blood, it's in our bodies, our cells. You can see it everywhere, you cannot escape it. And you have to learn people have to learn, including myself and others, that water is much more alive, should be much more alive and protected as an alive being, rather than just something, a feature, rather than just a feature. Oh, I cross a river, yeah, whatever. It's cold, or you know
That is
cold.
exactly the problem with the simple things. Yeah, I mean, like if it's so simple, then like why doesn't and true and good? Why doesn't everybody do it? It's because the simple things are mostly overlooked. Yeah, they're overlooked. So water is one of these. As you said, it's like the basic. We drink it. It's a substance that we put in our body the most. But people think so much about food and how to make it or what type of food, and but the one basic thing is water. And there's more conversation about the type of coffee than the type of water that you're drinking or wine. though every spring, every source of water has a different quality, different ingredients, different taste, different feel. I mean, we can celebrate these simple things as we celebrate the more complex thing and
Yeah.
enjoy them. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Instead of doing the whole with the wine tastery, can you imagine just being like water tasteries? Like, and just
Yeah.
drink the water. How fun that would be, huh?
Don't only imagine it. I mean, we used to had water taste events, okay? Because I'll explain soon, but we make water. We make our own water. So we wanted to taste different types. We invited many people. And then people come in and say, like tasting water, does water have taste? And then after tasting the difference, because when you taste different types of water, then certainly you start to feel it. And because it's delicate, then it goes even deeper in a way. And then you really, the conversation goes like, I like the French Alps more. I like the desert oasis. Like, which type of water do you like better? And I think that in many ways, uh, again, this is also the beauty of the simple thing that they usually go deep. Yeah, it's simple but deep. So
Yeah.
start tasting the difference in types of water, and even knowing which is like, again, with wine you have like which is good with fish or with meat or in the evening or
Yeah.
uh, but also water, you have so many different types of source and different types of minerals that are good culinarily with different, so just having this other layer of knowledge, and also, as we said, like when you go in water, okay, so when you go into a lake or into the sea, rather than into a shower, what types of water goes on you, yeah, and
Yeah.
like qualities of that. So again, these simple things have so much influence on ourselves, because eventually we are 70% water, and 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 the type of water, or let's say the quality of water that we have in us is a huge thing.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a very interesting conversation. So I didn't even introduce you, but can you introduce yourself, man? Since we are already diving into philosophical water discussions, can you introduce yourself shortly, and then we can talk a little bit about your invention and your product.
Okay, so my name is Ze'ev Zohar. I learned design and physics, and I'm an inventor, entrepreneur. Um, Most of my companies were in the kind of say high tech world more, and then I had my first daughter born, so I'm also a father now with
Oh,
four children. Yeah, but the first one is something special. Okay, it really hits you. Yeah, I mean, like suddenly you start to think about things that you never thought before. You're starting to feel things that you never felt before. Uh, and for me, it came down to like when I had to give her the first glass of water, that I thought, which water should I give her? Like, it's the first glass of water that she's drinking. I drank water all my life. I never thought about it.
wow.
And then I didn't know the basic question: should I boil it or filter it? And then like, what's
Yeah,
just like how deep this hole goes? Yeah. So I really encourage everybody before drinking their next glass of water to think if this is the water they wish to give their children. I mean, that's how
true.
you really understand if this is something that you want to drink. Um,
Serious.
and and so that's when I met my partner Shai. She's very conscious about anything that she eats, and everybody that wants to kind of eat healthy and make better choices of nutrition in his life goes to her. And she had two children, so I asked her which water does she give to her children, and then she told me, okay, yeah, water is a problem. I'm like, how can water be a problem? It's like the basic thing. Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah,
And
true.
everybody needs it every day, everywhere in the world. I mean, water is good, no?
Yeah, yeah,
So this is also something really striking. And every time if you're really kind of a curious person, it's always how these basic things have not been known. Yeah, how can you overlook it? But the water in our pipes is not so good because water absorbs everything it touches. Yeah, so that's the like in nature, water is like the blood of earth. It takes ingredients from one place to another. So it has water, which is life in a way, but also all the ingredients that the tree and the animals need. And it's a universal solvent. So it has like traces of everything from the drop of rain until the end of the river. Everything that it touches, you can find traces of it in the water. And that's the good thing. So it takes nutrition from one, and then on the other side, it takes the waste out. Uh, so now in nowadays, when water comes to us through all the pipes, and first through the sky, which is polluted, and then on the ground, which has all the pesticides, and then on this, and then comes to us in these pipes, there are traces of these elements in every drinking water, um, and so you have to filter them out, and that's what I did. Uh, but then, when my daughter was 1 year old, she didn't want to drink this water. Okay, this is also something interesting because children they know. Okay, if you just listen, if you just look really, again, the simple thing. Okay, not drink it. It's good for you. But why not? And that's where I understood, and there is a lot of study about it, that drinking water without minerals is not healthy. Okay? Water in nature does have minerals, and so that's when we started to add back the minerals to the water for her to enjoy it. Um, but now I think I'm diving straight into the story of Mayu. So about
yeah.
myself, yeah, I'm an inventor, a designer, a father, and a water lover. I think.
Seems that way, Ze'ev. So yeah, man, very interesting story. Where can I continue with my questions? But first thing, about your daughter and babies in general, they are more like animals in the good sense that they are just sensing, like they are sensors, and there's no rationality, no pride, no nothing. If it doesn't feel well, they will let you know about it, I guess.
Yeah.
And
No,
they
you know.
cry. Exactly, you won't sleep. So better find a better water. So, so I've seen it with many things. With babies. I do my exercises outside. I'm just going outside because I like the connection with the earth and my bare feet, which I think it's something beautiful for many people to experience. And I see babies, I see young children, I see how they sit, I see how they walk when they are allowed, which is a sad thing to say, but when they are allowed to put off their shoes and when they are allowed to really play in the dirt, which is rare. Like it is rare, even in the beach. Like it's rare. Like parents are afraid that kids will hurt themselves or do something stupid, but they don't understand that they just want to connect, and they have to feel the reflexes, they have to feel proper things in their bodies, create the immune system, make everything regulated. And we get in their way, like adults do the same stupid things in the late 20th century and 21st century. We just get in their way, and so stupid. I hope it changes. But I like that you saw and felt that maybe she needs a little bit of a better water. So how did you go about it? So and you said about your partner. So how come and you created Mayu, and where did you start? Like, what's the first story of Mayu creation?
Um, so so first, I mean, like again, the question was. which water should I bring to my newborn child? Okay,
Exactly. Yeah.
and then I found out that it's not a simple question. You know, just Google it. What best water? What you get? uh, uh, there's like a huge conversation. Many people saying pH high level, drink ozone water, that water, bottled water, not bottled water,
Yeah.
which filter, and so on. And so I just did the thing I liked the most and just dived into research. Okay, I read everything. I bought every filter I could. I bought water kind of tools to measure the water before and after every filter, and kind of ask everybody around about their water and test water in their house, and kind of found a new playground. Okay, really interesting world where I knew nothing about, which is crazy because I drink every day, and nobody knows actually. I
Yeah.
mean, they drink this liquid, and you know, but this is what gives us life. Yeah, this is what
Yeah.
is unique about the blue planet. I mean, it's the rarest element on universe, but it's the most. It's 70% of our global. So I mean, like, this is a very important element, and we know nothing about it, or I knew nothing about it, and that's when I start learning more. Um, and then I met a person named Victor Schauberger. Okay, he's a scientist from the late 19th century. Okay, amazing, amazing person. He's for me like the godfather of biomimicry, saying observe, comprehend, and copy nature. For if you want to fix any kind of complex engineering problem. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's what's the set of mind. Okay, water is a problem now because
Yeah.
we ruined the water cycle. Okay, all water on Earth now is a bit polluted, and now you can decide how much pollution you want to go in your body, but it's a problem, and the problem just gets worse. Um, so what's the solution? The solution is look at nature and see how he does it or she. And in a way, it's the water cycle. So it's a very complex uh, process, but you can simplify it to three major steps. First, you restart the water. Yeah, you evaporate it from the sea and rivers, and then in the clouds you have pure H2O. Nothing from the dissolved elements in the water stays, so you have pure H2O. It's restart. And then you rebuild the water again, because water on Earth again, it was the same amount of water since the day of creation until today. Not one drop came in or left the Earth. It's just recycling all the time, and it's like this process. The raindrop falls. It's absorbed from the air, oxygen and other elements, kind of rebuilt itself, and then on the rocks it absorbs more minerals, and that's where you have spring water that are fresh and ready. And you
Yeah.
drink them, and they give you life. So we try to mimic that process exactly in our home. We took water, we distill it, we evaporate it, and then condensate it. So you have like rainwater in the clouds even before it falls. Then you want to aerate it. You want to bring back the oxygen in it. So you rotate it, and then that brings back the oxygen into the water. And then we add the minerals back. So which type of mineral would you add? And this is again like so. At that time, I had a second daughter already, and we went to with the family to all the different types of spring in the European Alps. Sorevia and San Benedetto, yeah, you name it. Okay, and like
Okay.
tested the water from there and all the way down in Italy and in Germany, and took water from every kind of spring and see exactly what's the mineral composition of it. And you can see, like wine, it's the terroir, yeah, it's the earth that brings the mineral composition to each type of spring. And if you go to
Oh.
the desert, it's different, or volcanic water. Or, yeah, it's like really like
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was mind blowing, like to understand also the geological aspect of it and how the water creates. So it's really interesting. But then we try to mimic these exact water and these exact characteristic in our lab. So what's the pH? What's the total dissolved solids? What's the composition of these solids? How the mineral? Yeah, it's in. So it's a great puzzle of chemistry. But eventually we came with different types of formulas of mineral composition, natural minerals that you can add back to water and get the exact kind of characteristics of spring water. So you have water that are clean because you clean them. They're aerated, they're in motion, and I could talk about it a bit more because Victor Schauberger, that's kind of the open door that he gave us is the vortex. Okay, it's kind of his idea, and we just manifest it in a product.
Hmm.
Uh, but and then we add back the minerals, and so you have clean, beautiful, oxygen-rich, mineral-rich, mineral water.
Ah, wow. So, in essence, you imitated nature. You found a way to, through Salzberger's, I hope I pronounce it correctly. These Austrians, it's their fault. Salzberger's, and I was in Germany. I
Yeah,
was in
Victor
Munich.
Schauberger. Let's put his name in the link because he's
I'll put, yeah, I'll put it. Of course, it's he seems like a very interesting guy. But yeah, so he found through observation, I guess, the helix, the
the
thing, and you imitate it. So you tried, more or less. What I understand is you tried to imitate nature and create a clean thing which energizes itself, and it's like a micrography of how ideal should be in nature, how water should be in ideal circumstances in nature, but you can bring it in your home, something like
exactly
that.
exactly like instead of taking from nature, okay, because that's what they're doing now. They go to the most beautiful spring, the take the water, yeah,
Mm.
and you don't. And nature needs it there. So instead of taking from nature, learning from nature.
Hmm.
Okay, you look at nature, understand what happens in these springs, why the water tastes like this,
Yeah.
how did the oxygen come, and then you imitate this process. So every step in nature has a meaning, has a purpose, has a reason, and it's good for
Yeah.
you. That's what I believe. Okay, and you can see it. You just need to really observe. So, I mean, like I just explained these three steps, like the purification, the rain has a purpose. Without it, life couldn't exist. Yeah, it purifies our water naturally. You can learn how to purify it and learn
Yeah.
that this is the first. And then it runs in the rivers in a very special way. And it's not, yeah, always vortexing, always swirling. Even the water on a glass won't fall straight. It will swirl because water doesn't go on the fastest or shortest path. They go on the least resistant path. Okay, so
Okay.
kind of slide their way. That's the way they go. And it has a
Okay.
meaning. So if 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 you want to drink, again, learning from nature, if you look at any river, you see many vortexes inside on waves and every time. And when we take our water from our tap, it's after they went long distance in pipe, in straight pipes. And so water is kind of pushed through there with force and always breaks on the end. It's not its natural way of moving.
Mm.
Okay, so it's kind of the structure of water is broken when it comes to us. It doesn't have
Okay.
oxygen. Water, when it moves, it has. Okay, um, so again, learning this stage from nature, that in nature water always move. How do you apply it at home, and what is the scientific kind of benefits of it? Let's talk about that. Okay, so how do you apply it at home? You just vortex your water, let it move as it does in nature. Okay, and this is exactly what this device does. You keep your water flowing in this vortex form as if they are flowing in rivers, because when water stands, now every time we talk about water, it's like a layers of um, different ways to look at it. You have the physical layer, you have the chemical layer, you have the biological layer, and you have like the way we taste it, the organoleptic layer. So in the physical layer, that's what I told you now. the water breaks and kind of restructuring its reorganizing the molecules of water as if they are in nature, because a water molecule is like a magnet. You have one oxygen, yeah, H2O, two
Yeah.
hydrogen, and then it's like magnet. So it's like a magnet game. They connect in many different ways. When you let them swirl, it kind of organizes as if it was in nature.
Yeah.
On the chemical layer, it brings back the oxygen in. Okay, there is water always evaporates from the surface and gets oxygen to its surface. So when the vortex happens, you have more surface tension and more oxygen can come in, and volatile compounds from the water can go out. So let's say you have sparkling water and you vortex it, all the bubbles will release, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so anything that is like chlorine, that is also something that is volatile, releases with the vortex. And oxygen from air comes in. Oxygen in the water goes out. So the water is really breathing, has
Wow.
like living water. In the biological layer, uh, everywhere there is water, there is life. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. So when you have water, you start microorganisms growing it. And now there is two ways to deal with it. One is to put poison to kill them. Okay,
Mm.
that's putting chlorine in it, which is good because before they put chlorine, many people died from drinking water because it had disease in it. So, but as you kind of wash your fruits and vegetables before you eat it, it's good to wash the water out of the chlorine before you drink it. Yeah. But when you do that, if the water stands, then it starts to grow microorganisms inside. Huh? Then you need UV light or other things. But the other way is just keep it in motion because microorganisms, they grow in colonies. So they have to kind of, to flourish, they need colonies. The shearing forces of the vortex
Mm.
doesn't let them kind of grow. So that's
Oh,
why flowing rivers, they stay, fresh. But if you have a place that in nature that is standing water, it will
yeah.
start to grow a lot of
Hmm.
microorganisms inside. Uh, and all this boils down to the sorry.
No worries. No worries.
All this boils down to the taste and how we feel it when we taste it. And this is very interesting because the oxygen brings kind of a more sweetness to the water a bit. Okay, so people say it's kind of sweeter, and
Hmm.
and 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 the kind of restructuring is kind of make it more silkier in a way.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, like in general, this is what we learned from Victor Schauberger, and then did experiments from ourselves, from our own, like showing that when you vortex the water, it absorbs oxygen 6,000 times faster than standing water.
Oh,
Or
wow.
any experiment that we did during that, but but I mean that's when it struck me. Yeah, like you look at a cat, you look at a dog, they always go to drink flowing water, but we're always drinking standing water.
True.
So that's when we started to drink.
That's so true.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? What you say about your flowing water. When I was young, when I was a child, I don't know if all the children of the world do that, but I remember distinctly that I was looking for springs, or I was always fascinated, and I would love to go. For example, I have a village up in the mountains. My mother is up in the mountains, and they actually have running water. Like there's a spring somewhere, and you go there to a place, and all the villagers, they go there and just fill up your bottles and stuff. And as children, I remember distinctly that I loved seeing the water running. I loved it, and I loved to go, underneath it and drink it, and put it on my face. It was so awesome as an experience. It was so much more natural. It felt much more close to home. And what you say about water is stagnant, and we drink from glasses, and the bottles are in our home standing. yeah, it always it for me it felt always a little bit eerie, like weird, like no, like doesn't make any sense, because I've tasted a few springs here in Greece, and always the water was always so fascinated. Maybe it was because of the experience, it was a new place, maybe it was the nature around it, but something about it was very
All
special. And
together. Look, it's all together. You cannot
yeah,
really disconnect one thing from another. It's even how you are when you come to the water. I mean, that's also one thing that it was really important
true.
for me to kind of
Mhm.
bring it to the attention, because we drink water, we don't think about it. Yeah. But the minute
Yeah.
you look at the water and say like, wow, what is it? Yeah. Like just because you didn't, I think, and then you drink it, then you taste it intentionally, which you didn't do before.
Hmm,
And even that makes a huge difference in my respect.
true. Yeah, true. Wasn't it the Japanese researcher that did the whole feelings and structure of snowflakes? Was
Yeah, I
that
mean,
guy?
it's two Japanese. I would like to say here, like one is the Japanese kind of understanding of wabi sabi. You know what wabi sabi? It's kind of also a very interesting thing to look. But in a way, when you present art, it's about the connection between how you are and how you look at it. Okay, it's not in the object, and it's not in you. It's in the connection
Mm,
between both of you. Okay,
wow.
and that's why even like a falling leaf that is half gone could be a piece of art in the museum. Yeah, it's like, and when
Mm,
you put it there in the museum, you have a different connection to that leaf that you would wash away in the. And I think, and the other kind of Japanese guy is Moroto. He froze the water because the structure that we talked before, okay, all the magnets and how they are restructured, how they are connected.
yeah.
When the water is frozen, it crystallizes. The crystallization unveils the structure of the water before it crystallized. Yeah. So he did a lot of experiment taking different types of water from different springs around the world, from different tap waters around the world, for water that heard rock music or
Exactly.
classical
Yeah.
music or whatever, and crystallize it to
Yeah.
see if it made a difference. And what he found out, I mean, I really, if anybody that sees this podcast didn't see it, it's just beautiful to see it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
It was amazing. It's magic. It's almost magic. Like when I
yeah.
saw it for the first time, I was like, "Oh my God! Like, what is that? How?" And it's very interesting. Yeah. So wow. Um. Okay. So one question I have about Mayu is, uh, should people? What is your opinion? So should people buy a good quality water? Should people do the distillation and then put that in the mayu? What's the best practices in your opinion?
Okay. So again, it's there is no one good question. Okay, answer, because every water is different. I mean, it depends how close you are to the source. Yeah, if you can go and drink from spring water itself, the best. The second, if you trust your water, it's okay. This is important. I mean, like, be sure that you trust your water. There is some, but if you don't trust the water, then then there is really only one way to do it. It's to purify it completely
Yeah.
in two different types of purification: either reverse osmosis, which is water intensive, or
Yeah.
thermodistillation, which is energy intensive. But then you have pure water. Take that pure H2O and add the minerals back. If you don't add the mineral back, on the long term, you're harming your health and your immune system and your recovery abilities. So, really important to add back the minerals.
What can I ask you, Ze'ev, what minerals do you add?
So, I'm learning from nature. So it's not one. It's a like it's have like the major minerals and then a long tail of all the other minerals, and like it's amazing to see that This long tail is exactly what you have on Earth. Like if you have a very small amount of gold, you should have very small amount of gold in you in the minerals. Okay, and water does have it. So like the trace we have from magnesium, zinc, iodine a bit, calcium of course, chloride, but many other like gold and platinum even. So you have like 72 trace minerals and let's say five or six major minerals that are like the majority. And this varies between the different blends that we have. So let's say we have one blend for athletes, which is very interesting because when you sweat, you take out all these salt, the electrolyte, yeah, the water that you need to replenish more of these electrolytes when you drink it. So we did like a very intensive blend of natural mineral to add to water to make it electrolyte water. And the great thing about it is that it doesn't have the artificial flavor because it's not artificial, the mineral. It doesn't have an aftertaste, so you don't have to put a flavor to cover this aftertaste. So it does taste like water. So it's so if you're an athlete and you want to drink eco-friendly water, that I mean, like not in a bottle that doesn't have any sugar or additive taste, adding this electrolyte blend, I think it's the best solution. And if you just purify your water, then keep that purified water in a tank because you have to. Yeah, when you purify water, it goes in drops. You have to keep it in some kind of reservoir before you use it. So the best is to keep that reservoir in motion. Any other way would make the quality of water go down. Yeah? So and then add the minerals. For that we invented the essential minerals, which has like all the basic minerals that you need when you drink water.
Okay, excellent. Wow. So that actually you provide also the minerals. That's in case that people
Yeah.
ask for it.
So
Okay.
yeah, we did like the post filtration process. I mean, you decide which filter you need. Depends on your need. Because if you're on the go and you're renting a place, better to buy a thermodistillation. It's something like a kettle. Yeah, you can take it with you and it doesn't need any installation. If you
Okay.
are in a place or a family, then better to install a reverse osmosis system
Yeah.
because it's just open the tap. But then the water, keep it in the swirl and add the minerals, which is yeah, a bottle like this, and 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 uh, and then you get water that is on the quality of spring water just at home. It's kind of learning from nature and bringing nature back home.
Wow. And that's a perfect segment to my last question. Wow, that was a very interesting about everything you talked about. I'm astounded. So, where do you want it to go? So, where do you see yourself like in 10 years? Do you see yourself in 10 years, first of all? And if yes, or you have plans, what do you wish for people and that listen to us right now uh, to do in general with water in their lives? Besides, of course, uh, trusting nature, imitating nature through your product or without your products, in
No,
any
so
case they can.
yeah, yeah. So it's many questions that you ask. I'll try to answer for the first and for the last. Like I mean, our vision is to bring healthy, beautiful, yeah, pure water to everybody everywhere without creating this single-use plastic. Okay,
Yeah.
because water is a world crisis. Nobody trusts now their tap water, and many people turn to the bottled water industry, which creates a huge um, destruction. Um, and we have to stop that. And in order to stop that, we need to have a better solution. And so what I encourage everybody, and so my vision is to bring this solution like in a very like a present, yeah, not saying stop using bottled water or yeah, say give us a better alternative, something that is more
Exactly.
pleasing, higher quality, affordable, and so my vision is to have Mayu like on every countertop everywhere, and if not Mayu itself, the concept of creating water in the point of use and making it at the highest level for all the children and all the reasons out there. For people, what I would like them to do with water is very simple. Is just to appreciate it, okay? Because this is really the origin of life, and this is something that without water, one day, one day without water, and you will appreciate it like hell. Okay, 3 days you would give anything in the world for water. So
True.
it's better to appreciate it when you have abundance of it,
Yeah.
and when you start appreciating it, I think then you want to learn more. That's something that happens when you appreciate something. Yeah, when you
True.
love something, you want. And this is very interesting because water connects all living beings. There's so many ways to go and travel and learn and to understand, and it doesn't matter in which branch of the tree you're holding the whole tree. So
Yeah.
that's for me. If people will appreciate it, I mean, everything will flow after that.
Wow, that was a beautiful conclusion to our today's interview, and I would say more of a conversation that I loved. And thank you for being here, Ze'ev. Since you're a father, I know you have many responsibilities, probably. Thanks for taking the time.
Sure, it was my pleasure, and good luck in your journey. Always a big fan. So enjoy.
Yeah. So I can you stay a minute after the recording? Just a minute. And anybody else, please, if you like this video, of course, go and subscribe, like, and go find Mayu for yourself and check it out, and let us know down in the comments. Having said that, enjoy the next episode of more water conversations. Ciao, everybody.